All right, Jen St. Dennis from Business in Vancouver is with us. Good morning, Jen.
Good morning.
So big deal this morning in business dealing with Rona and also Lowe's. Now, let's do some backstory here because Lowe's at one time tried to take over Rona and it didn't go very well.
Yeah, so Lowe's is an American home improvement chain, kind of like Home Depot. Rona is a Canadian chain based in Quebec. And so back in 2012, Lowe's has really been wanting to corner the Canadian market a little bit more. And so they tried to do this takeover of Rona. It didn't go so well. It was opposed by the management of Rona. The independent owners of Rona stores didn't like it that much. And the Quebec government wasn't too hot on the idea either. But now, this time around, they have accepted this deal. They say it's a good deal. It's worth $3.2 billion. And they're making some efforts to really try to keep it, the Canadian operations in Canada. So they're committing to keeping the head offices in Quebec. The president of this Lowe's Canada operation will be Canadian. And as for the employees, they're saying that, quote, they're going to keep a vast majority of the employees. So it's a little bit vague there, but making an attempt to keep things in Canada for sure.
Yeah, you always worry about that when they say we're going to try to keep a vast number of the employees, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
But we should say that Rona does quite well in Canada, second behind Home Depot. I mean, there's a bit of a gap between the two, but for Lowe's, getting a hold of this piece of the pie is a big deal for them.
Yeah, that's right. And what people are saying is that, the home improvement market in Canada isn't that big of a market, so it's a little bit small for three players to be involved. So for Lowe's, that's why this deal was important.
All right, let's move on to some other things. We talked a little bit about Alphabet and Google, so now we're going to talk about Yahoo. We're hitting all the big ones right now.
Yeah, okay, so we talked about Alphabet, i.e. Google, Facebook, and then Yahoo kind of coming in a third, and Yahoo has really been struggling, really lost ground to those two giants of, web portaldom and digital advertising. So, CEO Marissa Mayer has been trying for 3 years to turn this huge ship around, and she really hasn't been able to do it. So, yeah, they reported their fourth quarter earnings yesterday. They got a $4.4 billion loss, and she also announced more job cuts. So 1,700 employees will be let go. That represents about 15% of the workforce. They're also going to be closing some offices and cutting some services, although they did not say which services. So continuing to try to make this business work. But at this point, there are lots of questions about whether they should just sell the business, actually.
Right. Yeah. Very few people say, hey, let's just Yahoo it, right?
Yeah, I know.
It's like,
you remember back in the day, it was the Yahoo email was a big thing.
Yeah.
But you look at it's a confusing business. They do so many different things. They have news, they have the email portal. It's confusing as to what exactly they do.
They acquired so much that
That's right.
There's not much they can do with it. So anyway, we'll see how this goes forward and whether or not they decide to split the company or do something different with it.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, Jen, thank you very much. Good to talk to you.
Okay, thanks.
All right, Jen St. Dennis from Business in Vancouver.